Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and much appreciated you guys checking today's video out and spending some time with me. Guys, today I want to have a little discussion with y'all about one thing that you can do this year that is going to allow you to achieve higher levels of success or quicker growth in your success than about anything that you can do. I think a lot of people spend too much time on certain aspects of bass fishing that really just grow their success at a snail's rate. And there's some things you can do to really sort of take those big leaps and really notice big differences in how much success you have on the water. So I got one specific thing I want to really get into in today's episode. Also, guys, a quick thank you, guys. I want to thank everybody out there that's taken time to subscribe here to Advanced Bass Fishing. If you hadn't had a chance to do that, I'd like to invite everybody to hit that subscribe button. Also, you can become a channel member of Advanced Bass Fishing by going to my homepage and click on the join button. It's a good way to support the channel. And also, thank you very much for everybody that's been using and bookmarking my Tackle Warehouse link in the video descriptions of every video. That's really helping out the channel a lot. So much appreciated there. Okay, one of the things, we've touched on this occasionally on the channel here and on my other channels too. One of the things that I really, it's not really frustrating to me, but one of the things that I sort of, wonder about a little bit is like when I do these bass fishing tips and trying to help you guys become better anglers and better bass fishermen, a lot of the videos that I do that will help you, but they don't help you as much as what I'm getting ready to talk about. People really like them. Like if I come up, like I say, man, this new color is awesome, you got to try it, or this new bait's awesome, you got to try it. And don't get me wrong, that can help you catch fish too. But when I start talking about trying to understand and study the bass and their behaviors, that's when everybody tunes out. And guys, you can't do that, man. It's like if you're serious at all about being a better angler and catching more bass, you have got to study the fish on their behaviors and their moods and their personality. That's where it's at, man. That's where all your success is going to come from. That's where your foundation is going to come from. Because if you can't find them, you're not going to catch them, and you can't rely on technology to find them for you. That's not going to sustain you for the long term. You got to be able to show up on the lake and assess the lake visually and for whatever ways that you can do that, and determine the best places to begin your search at for the fish. So one of the things I want to really encourage you guys is to really get in and try to understand seasonal patterns and moods of fish and the things that affect the bass's mood. Now, the things that affect the mood of a fish, and I use the term mood in terms of how aggressive or non-aggressive the bass are willing to bite a lure. Those factors that determine that mood and the personality are wide-ranging. Weather patterns have a really big part of it, your sunlight conditions, your wind, environmental factors like your water visibility, the water temperature, fishing pressure has a huge role in it. The overall amount of activity on the lake, whether it be like jet skis or recreational pressure, all that, a lot of different stuff that goes into it. And that is why this is something that's a commitment. It's like you can't just just spend 30 minutes thinking about this and figure that you got it. This is something that's a lifelong commitment. And the learning process is a lot shorter now with all the YouTube videos we have on it, but you don't have that many YouTube videos about bass movement, personality, and behavior. Go back, and if you guys are wanting to look at some good videos on that, I've done a bunch of them on my Intuitive Angling channel. Just go on the playlist and click on seasonal patterns and bass behavior. There's a lot of good content on that. But the thing that I really want to stress in this video here, guys, it's sort of, you got to shift the way that you think a little bit. When you're out fishing, it's like, instead of just like figuring out, it's like, oh man, I need to change a different lure, or I need a different color or something like this. Start focusing and start spending your time saying, okay, where did these bass go to? Where did they move to? What is going to generate a strike? What is the thing that's going to trigger a strike? Is it a slow presentation? Is it a stop and go? Is it a medium? Is it a fast? Do I need a big lure or a small lure? Try to think in those terms of the mood of the bass based upon the day that you're out there. I'll give you guys just a real generic example here. from what I know about bass fishing, I know that like if we go out fishing in March and the water temperature is 55 degrees and it's cloudy and maybe it's mist and rain a little bit and the wind's blowing 5 or 10 miles an hour, the air temperature is about normal. I know from what I know about bass movement behavior based upon the correlation with the weather patterns that the fish are going to be biting pretty good, and they're going to bite moving lures. I'm going to be able to catch them on a crankbait, a chatterbait, a spinnerbait. But if we go out the next day and let's say a cold front has went through or something, or the day we go out there, it's a bluebird sky, there's no wind whatsoever. Conditions are tougher overall. I know that those fish aren't going to chase, and I know those fish aren't going to be as aggressive, and I'm going to have to finesse them out or move to the bottom a little bit. That's a real generic, simple 101 term, and there's other factors that determine all of that. So that is what I want to sort of encourage you guys. The best way to do it and simplify it is, like I said, is just pay attention to those videos that talk about bass movement behaviors. Absorb that stuff, man. Like I said, the best thing you could do, if I could give you any advice, guys, is just go to my Intuitive Angling channel, click on that playlist, and watch those bass movement and seasonal pattern videos. It will give you a plethora of information about what you need to look for, because I've done a bunch of videos on that. And it's from my own experience. What I'm sharing with you guys is my lifelong study of bass. And I've fished all over the country, and I've fished all over the country on every month of the year. So I've seen stuff happen year after year after year, and been able to like put it into some type of cohesive form to be able to share with you guys. But that's the main thing, guys, is just don't get caught up and don't get locked into like the simple stuff that's going to give you real short-term success. I mean, the more that you learn about a bass and the more that you understand bass, the more success that you're going to have, and the more satisfying it is, the more rewarding it is. But one thing I will tell you, you're never going to learn all of it. It's like, and you don't want to. That's the great thing about fishing. You don't want to know everything about a bass, because think how boring it would be if you knew everything about a fish. You knew exactly where that fish is going to be, and you knew exactly what it was going to hit. You knew everything about it. It wouldn't be near as much fun. So sort of like appreciate the fact that it's okay that we never want to learn everything about a bass. That's one of the things that I don't like about the forward-facing sonar, is it teaches us too much about bass. And once you know more and more about bass, I really feel it diminishes that sport, because fishing, from my perspective, the unknown and that anticipation and the excitement of not really knowing what's there until you throw a lure out there. You don't know what's there. It's like, oh my God, there could be anything out there, or there could be nothing. That is what, try to like, gain an appreciation for that. And the fishing will be much more rewarding as years goes by, as if you adopt that way of thinking. So anyway, hope it helps, guys. We'll talk later.